So 2023 was a great year for tabletop role-playing games, and I'm going to give you my top 5 RPGs of 2023. Hey everyone, welcome to Victor Condition Gaming. My name is Doug. Today we're going to be talking about my top 5 tabletop role-playing games of 2023. Now this list, I will warn you, is pretty similar to my most anticipated list of 2023, but there are some changes along the way, so it'll be interesting to see what you all think. If there are tabletop role-playing games that you are excited for, that you got to play in 2023, that made your personal favorites, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you played. These games were mostly the games that I played in 2023 that I really enjoyed, and so yeah, they made my top 5 list. If you like these types of videos, let me know by hitting that like button down below, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I'd love to talk about all sorts of tabletop role-playing games, board games, just all that stuff. So I'd love to have you as part of my YouTube community. So before we talk about my top 5, I feel like I should probably talk a little bit about my honorable mentions, the games that I was really impressed by, but didn't quite make my top 5 for one reason or another. My first honorable mention is going to be the Walking Dead role-playing game. Now, this was one of my honorable mentions for most anticipated. It also is my honorable mention for my top 5. Don't get me wrong, I am a huge Walking Dead fan. I love the TV shows. I think I've seen all of them at this point, and I just really like that universe. I've always been apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic kind of guy. I like that kind of genre. So when Free League announced that they were doing a Walking Dead role-playing game, I was really excited. It uses the Year Zero engine. It's got some similar bones to, Alien. It's got a stress mechanic. It's got a threat meter. When things start going bad, they go bad really quick. So it really does that whole undead post-apocalyptic setting really well. So if you're not even a Walking Dead fan, I feel like if you're looking for kind of that, undead post-apocalyptic setting, the zombie setting for an RPG, the Walking Dead RPG does it really well. So it just didn't quite make my top 5. Just played it a few times, liked it, enjoyed it. It narrowly missed my top 5. Also, before we get too much further, I will disclose that, of course, I do the North American events for Free League Publishing. So I try not to constantly just put, Free League games on these lists, because, I don't think that's fair, and because, there are lots of different publishers making some really great stuff, and I love playing other games. But just know that I do play a lot of Free League games, so it does kind of factor into some of these lists every once in a while. The next honorable mention that I have is a game that was on Kickstarter. I went back and forth between backing it digitally and backing it physically. I settled on backing it digitally. Totally regret it. Wish I could got the physical books. But that game is from Monty Cook. It is Old Gods of Appalachia. This game is based on a podcast. It's a horror podcast. Super good. I love this setting. I've never played a Cypher System game, I'll be honest with you, but I feel like this is going to be my entry into that system. So good. The art is well done. The books are well done. As soon as I saw the physical books, I just wanted to get... Knew I made a mistake by not backing and changing my pledge to digital only. I will pick up the physical copies before, 2024 is over. Great game. I can't wait to play it. I think it's going to be one of those games that people are going to be talking about a lot in 2024. So my honorable mention is Old Gods of Appalachia by Monty Cook Games. That brings me to my top 5. My top 5 TTRPGs of 2023. My number 5 is a game by Leyland Press. This is a game that we featured on the show while it was on Kickstarter. As you know, I love stompy mechs. This is a salvage union from Leyland Press. So this is a game that uses the Quest RPG system. It's a D20 system with varying degrees of success based on your role. It has a post-apocalyptic kind of sci-fi where you pilot these mechs. So part of your character sheet is the mech, and part of it is your actual pilot. I love when people take, licenses or open game systems and kind of build on that and create another game. And that's what Salvage Union is. It does the whole stompy mech, genre really, really well. I love the system. It is probably going to be my go-to game for stompy mechs going forward. And I'm really excited to see they not only, produced a core book, but also some expansion books with some adventures in them. And I love everything about Salvage Union. I think it's going to be a big success. I will probably, it wouldn't surprise me to see it nominated for some Ennies in 2024. Number 4 is a game that, again, another game that I featured while it was on Kickstarter. It is a Mork Borg hack, if you will. Basically, I love it when people take that Mork Borg system and make a whole other game with it. I feel like one of the kind of the complaints about Mork Borg is that it's too rules light. So I love it when people add more meat to the bone, if you will. And this game definitely does that, and that is Pirate Borg. Now, Pirate Borg is put out by Limithron, and it was put out into distribution by Free League Publishing. And I've personally been able to get to know Luke and Tyler, his brother, and they're just some great guys. So this is kind of a little bit of a sentimental pick as well. I've got to know them over the last couple of years, and it's been awesome to see them have success with this title. It's hard to take that Mork Borg aesthetic and make it your own, and I feel like Luke did that. And for this being his first publishing project, it says a lot about who he is and how he interprets things, and he does a really great job. Of course, he does his own Patreon with maps for Pathfinder and tabletop role-playing games that are really, really well done as well. So he took that Mork Borg system and added naval combat rules, added a few other mechanics. So not only is this a Mork Borg game, so if you love those Mork Borg kind of titles, this is an amazing game to pick up. But also if you're looking for just kind of like that pirate RPG for your collection, I don't think it gets any better than Pirate Borg. So my number 3 RPG of 2023 is another game that I backed on Kickstarter, went back and forth between physical and digital, and again, backer remorse, where I flipped it, I think, right on the last 48 hours from physical to digital. And I got the PDFs in, loved it, and then I saw the physical books at Gamma Expo, and I was like, gosh dang it, I should have backed this at physical level. And I should have probably backed it at like the special edition book level, because the special edition books are just so beautiful. That cover is amazing, and that is Die, the RPG from Rowan Rook and Descartes. This is a great game. This game is based on a comic where a group of tabletop role players get sucked into this like magical fantasy realm, and they become their characters. So I love that aspect of it, and I love the fact that as you play this game, you're actually creating canon for that universe. This This book is beautiful. Rules are super fun. I knew it. I love what Rowan Rook and Descartes are doing, and I should have just kept my physical pledge for this product. And yeah, as soon as I see a special edition copy of this book, I'm snatching it up, and I will definitely at least have a physical copy in my collection by the end of 2024 before it's all said and done. So yeah, my number 3 RPG is Die, the RPG from Rowan Rook and Descartes. So my number 2 tabletop role-playing game of 2023 was actually my most anticipated RPG of 2023. But don't get it twisted. It's still an amazing game, and I love it so much. And I am so excited for the potential for this line for the publisher. The game, of course, is going to be Household from Two Little Mice. Household, you play as like these fantasy creatures in the walls of an abandoned house, and each room and each piece of furniture in the room is like its own city and country. It's very much like the Borrowers, the Littles, that kind of setting, with some more fantasy elements added to it. Beautiful books, beautiful. I love the setting. My only complaint would be on Household is that the books are too big. The books are heavy. There's 3 of them that came in the Kickstarter, and if you got the box set, you got the magnetic slipcase thing. It's a heavy product. So if you're going to be like taking it to conventions or anything, that's a lot of weight. Like, I've had to not bring as much clothes in my suitcase while I'm on a flight because I want to bring those books with me to a convention, and they're heavy. Like, you can't easily bring those around. I also feel like since it's such a small setting, I feel like the books should have been like digest size. Like, I just feel like that would have been more ideal. I don't know. I feel like that is a space that TTRPGs are kind of trending towards, that digest size. Those big, standard, whether it's 11.5 by 15 or whatever they are, hardcover books, I feel like they're kind of, they're out there, but I feel like people are kind of digging the smaller size. And I feel like since Household's about like little creatures, I feel like it could have been a smaller size. Kind of like how Root and Mouse Guard are a smaller size book. I feel like that could have been like done with Household. Don't get me wrong. Love the production value of these books. It's just the one complaint that I have is that I feel like maybe it doesn't, like, the size doesn't fit the setting. Now, if you haven't played Household, it's a D6 dice pool system. You're basically rolling for pairs, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind. It's almost like I said in other videos, it's like Yahtzee the RPG, but it's got a great rules. It's got beautiful art. The books are top notch. Despite my previous comments, they're very, very beautiful books. They're just super heavy. So it pains me. It pains me to put it at number 2, but it's my number 2 RPG for 2023. Now, my number 1 RPG for 2023 is a game that, yes, like I said, I know I play a lot of Free League games. So I do have a little bit of bias here. But I just want to be upfront with you. That's factors into this list. Try not to have that weigh my top 5 lists or any kind of lists that I do or any kind of content that I do. Try to be as subjective as possible. But this product in general, really, really enjoyed in 2023. I probably played it the most. I think with everything that happened at the beginning of the year, seeing the shift in, people coming up at conventions and asking, what do you have that's not 5e, and wanting to learn new systems, just kind of elevated the response for this game once it was put out in 2023. And that, of course, is Dragonbane from Free League Publishing. Dragonbane is like this, I want to say it's mirth and mayhem role-playing. It's lighthearted fantasy. It is actually a new edition of Drakar Demoner. I'm sure I butchered that, but it's basically what Sweden had for D&D in the 80s. They didn't have D&D. They had this other, Demons and Dragons. And of course, Free League wasn't going to call it Demons and Dragons in the States because they probably would have gotten a letter pretty quickly. But they call it Dragonbane. It's an amazing box set. Comes with a rule book, comes with an adventure book, comes with standees, comes with dice, comes with map, comes with cards, comes with pre-generated characters, comes with blank character sheets. It's everything that you need in a box set. So if you haven't played Dragonbane, you can check it out on our show. We've played it a few times. Also, it's a really fun system. It's a D20 roll under system. The rules are super easy to learn. It's very pick up and play. It's very pick up and GM. Like you can GM, like prep very minimally for this. So it's fun in that regard. I think it's just going to keep taking off, and I'm excited to see all the third party stuff that's already hit crowdfunding for Dragonbane, and I'm excited to see more creators put their own stuff, and I want to see more, not only official Dragonbane products from Free League, but I'm looking forward to a lot of third-party stuff from other publishers. We've seen quite a few on crowdfunding do really well, and I hope that that's a trend that we'll see in 2024 and beyond. So that's my top 5 RPGs of 2023. Let me know in the comments if there are any RPGs that you enjoyed below. Some of them can be the ones that I mentioned, or if you have ones that I didn't mention, feel free to let me know. I love to hear about RPGs, and maybe even some of them I've played. Some of them maybe didn't make my list, but I probably, if I have played them, I'll let you know, and I'll let you know if they just made that short list. I like to do top 5 lists because I feel like it's a little more snappy, and instead of top 10 lists, I feel like top 10 lists just kind of drag after a while. So there are quite a few games in my notes here that I didn't mention that I'd be curious to know if you got to play them and if they would have made your top 5 list. That's going to do it for this video. If you've made it all this way and you haven't already, hit that like button down below. I appreciate it. And of course, like I said, love it if you hit that subscribe button. Love to have you as part of my YouTube community so you can get notified every single time I do these lists or, make all sorts of content. That's going to do it. Remember, winning shouldn't be the only victory condition when you get to the table. We'll see you next time.